morning! It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend. You know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. His name, folks, Dale Hillestray in the house.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
You're giving me a little false enthusiasm earlier this morning.
What I'm doing. That's what I do. I'm tired today.
You're tired?
I screwed up.
After you just told me how much you've been sleeping.
Yeah, but still tired. Still tired.
Trying to catch up from the weekend?
Yeah, that's the problem. So second day back is the worst day back, which is Tuesday, right? But no, yesterday we did the pit stop yesterday. We just did it a day early because we have a couple of things today and tomorrow that we have to take care of. So I just did it a day early, got it done. Got home at like 1:30, was starving, ate some lunch. My daughter came down. She wanted to go driving. So we went to grab her a bite to eat. So she drove me there, drove me home, everything. I remember 4:30.
Wow.
That's all I remember.
Wow.
And then I woke up at like 8, all like what year is it? And then, of course, I was up till 1 in the morning after that.
Oh, that's no good.
And then, then you have to get up at, 4:35 like normal. So then you feel tired. And I've been good, but it's going to hit me at some point where I'm just going to be like, I'm tired again. So today I got to fight it off.
Do not get in that habit, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget when I was doing those, what do they call NFL Europe. And, you go over there for 2 or 3 weeks. And one of the announcers, I think it was Trevor Maddich. First day he got over there, you always land in the morning for some reason.
Jet lag. Yeah, because you fly overnight.
Yeah, you fly all night, whatever, and the time change, and blah, blah, blah. They say don't go to sleep.
Nope. Stay awake.
Don't go to sleep. Well, Trevor Maddich went to sleep.
He's all screwed.
And evidently for 2.5 weeks.
Because it was middle of the night depending where you're at. But it was night. It's still night. He should be asleep when you land.
Right.
Yeah.
But you want to acclimate to their time as much as possible.
Yeah. You want to sleep on the plane if possible because it's the overnight simulation.
The first time I went over there, I think it was with the Raiders. We went over to London because I was still healthy, hadn't hurt myself yet. No, I guess it was the second year. Went over to London, and they took us to a park, like Central Park.
Yeah.
Stopped the buses and said, all right, we're going to run. It's like, we're going to do what?
Wake you up a little bit? Did they make you travel in suits back then?
No. Okay. Casual over to London. So. But yeah, that you get off kilter.
No, I got to be careful today, man. And I got a, with that landlord thing, I got a court thing today at 11. So right after this show, I'm out of here. Kobe, Ethan, and you can shut everything down. I'm out of here for that. So I got that. That'll probably take an hour or two. I don't know how long. Who knows?
No, we'll be back tomorrow?
No, we'll find out. We'll find out. They'll be prepared. No, it'll be fine. I don't know. Nothing's going to happen. But so I got that at 11.
Okay.
And then it's going to be like, all right. And then 112, 114. Obviously, I'm not used to that. I was just in 75-degree weather. So so I'm like, all right, today I got to force myself to stay awake. I'll go to bed early. I got to force myself to stay awake today because I can't fall into this trap that I fell into yesterday. I just remember waking up because my kid's mom got back. She was on vacation. She got back yesterday, and they picked her up on So I was like just sitting there like, oh, she's going to get picked up here soon. They landed, and she's going to get picked up soon. And I woke up at one point. It was all I got was, we got Ireland. And I'm like, okay, out of here. I'm asleep. Leave me alone.
Who's calling me?
Can't fall into that. I'll just text it.
Yeah.
I can't fall. I know. I have no doubt. My daughter probably came in and was like, "I'm leaving," and I was just like, well, "Whatever." Unconscious. Daniel, I gotta watch that today, but that's why I'm a little off today. A little tired.
Yeah.
Just messes with your sleep patterns a little bit, but we'll get it fixed today, hopefully. I forgot to plug my car in last night.
Oh my god.
So last night at 1 in the morning, I ran downstairs and got it semi-charged.
Now, let's be honest.
It was pretty low too. It was like at 25% yesterday.
Did you actually run downstairs?
No, actually, it's about 11 o'clock. I was like, I didn't plug my car in. So I was like, I was still up, And then I did that thing where I laid down and I was watching videos on the phone. So I was like in and out of sleep, for a couple hours. And then at 1, I was like, dude, go plug that car in, man. Go plug that car in. I would have made it here, but the problem is, like I said, I got to stop. I got to stop on the way home. So I might end up at a public charger at some point. I have plenty now, but
if you didn't, you're in a little bit of
just
trouble.
have to stop at a public charger and spend the money when it's 112 degrees out. That'll be fun.
Do you notice that it changes throughout the day, or is it certain hours?
It charges slower right now because it's so hot out, even
Okay.
at night, right? 90 degrees in my garage or whatever it is.
Right.
So it charges slower, and that was the problem. Normally in the wintertime, it would charge right up to 80% from 1 to 4 in the morning, no problem. Only went up to like 55% in that time frame. That's just because the battery's hot, and you got to cool it down, and it runs energy and all that garbage stuff. So that's what I'm dealing with. My fault. Should have plugged it in. My bad. But no, it'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Just like Zach Gallen will be fine. Just like Steve McCullough will be fine. Everything's fine.
It's funny, man. Everybody's on this mixed Zach Gallen thing. Of course, we're going to talk about him today after his outing yesterday. It's funny to read the tea leaves because people are like, he's getting better. His ERA went down.
Yeah.
But he still had a terrible inning. So
And it just happened to be the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Put you behind. And what did we say yesterday? What did I say? I know I said it. I don't know if Dale was on board with it. But I said it's going to be a terrible hitting day. They hit all those home runs and everything the day before in game 1. So I'm like, today's night's going to be this terrible outing where they're going to score like 1 run. And what did they do? 1 run.
They scored 1 run. They had 5 hits.
You could just see it coming, a Tory team coming. We'll talk about this because I do have a question for you, Dale.
Okay.
We'll get into this with baseball. We're going to cover baseball first here. Big 12 Media Day was yesterday for your Arizona State Sun Devils, and your boy Dion doing his Dion thing yesterday.
Boy,
just rubs me the wrong way, and it's not. I guess it's not bad. It's just the me attitude of him drives me, especially when you're a player. Be a me player if you want to. I know you have a different opinion on that, playing with the guy.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be a me player, players, locker rooms can handle that, deal with it themselves. But when you're a head coach and you're a me head coach, it bothers the crap out of me.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what he said yesterday as well. But I do have some Kenny Dillingham clips we'll get into coming up here. Nothing, only fireworks in Arizona's today, by the way, in the 2-day Big 12 Media Day event. So we'll see what
You mean the highest ranked university in Arizona?
Highest ranked for what?
Football.
For losing money?
For football.
Or having a disgruntled athletic director who basketball coach hates? That highest ranking one?
As long as they win football games, Stevie.
Well, they'll talk about Kenny Dillingham. We'll look at, obviously, Arizona and Brennan today. No fireworks yesterday, but, man, some of those reporter guys that covered Texas Tech, man, they are just brutal with the way that they feel Texas Tech is. Brent Yarmark was a complete jerk to one of them yesterday. I didn't get the video or anything. I saw it. But my opinion of Brent Yarmark's changing. I'm not sure I like the guy.
Okay.
I'm not sure he's leading the conference in the right direction. But then he treated this guy like, made him stand up. The guy asked his question sitting down.
Right.
Made him stand up, and he goes, I didn't repeat that question, but stand up next time you talk to me. Had the guy repeat it, and then he goes, and then he answers the question, rudely. And I'm just like, and of course it's about Texas Tech and, possibly leaving the conference and the way they're treated. Basically the question was, why is Cincinnati not being looked at for the Sorsby thing and Texas Tech thing?
Oh, okay.
And Yarmark just had some smart aleck response that he did and everything like that. And I'm just like, man, this guy just rubs me the wrong way sometimes as a commissioner. I'm not sure he's doing the right things for the
Well,
conference.
you had to be, don't you think that you had to be prepared? That you knew that was going to lead and probably dominate the entire...
And it did. Lawsuits and legislation led a lot of... You right there, Dale?
Yeah.
Usually got to worry about me falling apart on the air here, and it's Dale now. While Dale's dealing with that issue, no, it was a lot of legislation. It was a lot of lawsuit talk yesterday on the first day, but obviously Texas Tech was yesterday.
Right.
I think that'll settle down today. Maybe not, because Cincinnati's up today. And the NCAA has said they've sent a letter to Cincinnati to find out their dealings with Sorsby.
So maybe them outing Sorsby might come back to.
I'm not going to say it was somebody at Cincinnati.
Boy,
I'm going to say it was somebody within the Cincinnati orbit, though. It could have been a big-time booster that offered him money, and now he's leaving and doing that. It could have been a booster that has tie. We do know that the federal government was the one that outed it and investigated. But what we don't know is how they found out about it.
Right. Hey, you might want to look into this.
Yeah, so a big booster has a tie with an FBI agent. I'm just throwing it out there. This isn't fact. Has a big tie with an FBI agent and goes, hey, now we talk all the time about improprieties in football, et cetera. Here's what Texas Tech's done. Here's what we know Sorsby done. Gambling and things to that effect. Just throwing it out there, at a party,
Now that he's in Lubbock.
Now that he's taken the money and went to Lubbock,
Right.
and then somebody looks into it and runs with it, so there's a deniability. So that might pick up today, but we'll talk a little Big 12 with Kenny Dillingham as well. And I gotta get my little comment on Coach Prime. I just can't wait for this Deion experience to end.
What's fascinating is that last night Brooke and I were going through Netflix because there's no World Cup to watch. And
well, yeah, all the games are during the day. Fantastic games, by the
way. Right. I know you'll probably want to get into that, but
yes,
the Cowboys, the gambler, and his Cowboys or whatever that thing is called with Jerry Jones and the
Netflix one, right?
Yeah. And we had watched some of it, and then watched like 2 episodes last night, and one of them was the signing of Deion, and just brought back, my stomach is churning, and oh god.
Well, since people haven't heard this story yet, of course, you're a big part of this team. They went out. Deion had just was he on that 49ers team that beat you in the in the deal?
Yes.
In the NFC Championship game to keep you from 3 consecutive Super Bowls.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that year, he's all of a sudden a free agent, and you guys will have a chance to get him. Tell the story about how that went down from your perspective inside the locker room, bringing Deion into the Cowboys.
Well, it was interesting because I'm sorry, I don't know what's in my throat, but Jerry told the team we have a chance to sign Deion. He called about 12 of us veterans into his office.
Kind of like a leadership group?
Yeah, an unofficial leadership group and whatever. And sat down and gave all the pros and cons, and then the Michaels. And
they're selling you on Deion Sanders,
yes.
The talent of Deion.
Well, because he was going to make more money than Troy, Michael, and Emmett.
Okay.
Want to know how that's going to go in the locker room. The scouting report on Deion that, great team player.
This is what fascinates me the most.
Great team player, great practice player, hard worker, on and on and on. Obviously a sales job. So, we all said, because the talent was there's no question about his talent.
Absolutely.
And we did need another cornerback.
One of the best, if not the best cornerbacks to ever play the game.
Yes. And so everybody kind of signed off on it, sign him. He shows up in October that year because he's playing baseball.
The Braves went to the playoff run.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so he showed up in October and quickly found out that we practice in pads Wednesdays and Thursdays. And they're pretty physical practices. Yeah. And that's just the way we had always done things. Under Jimmy, Barry continued that. And found out that Deion doesn't practice in pads. Oh, again, third person, I don't practice in pads. And
did he declare that in front of you guys, or was it just
no? He just showed up to practice.
And Deion's not there.
And Deion was there or come out with just a helmet.
Yeah. I can just see him looking at Troy going, Deion don't practice.
And remember, you have Troy, who already won a couple Super Bowls. You had Emmett, who was the MVP 2 years before that. You had Michael. We all just practice in pads. There are no questions asked and all that. And so Deion not only came out to practice like that, didn't go to Barry Switzer, the head coach.
Oh,
He
I
went
forgot.
to Jerry.
I forgot that was Barry Switzer.
Oh yeah, I mean, if Jimmy,
you gotta leave that. You gotta leave that. You gotta have that nugget because would that have happened with Jimmy?
Dude, it would not have happened with Jimmy. But he didn't go to the head coach. He went to the owner.
Yeah.
And so not only does he not practice in pads, and Emmett, Michael, Troy are noticing this, but then find out we have to lift 2 days a week during the season. Deion doesn't lift weights. A lot of things about Deion that only apply to Deion.
Yeah.
And then you find out, okay, well, the other defensive backs are like, well, if Deion doesn't have to do mandatory lifts, why do I? Well,
and he's making more than these guys that have MVPs and multiple world championships and all that stuff.
But why doesn't he have to lift, but I have to, so maybe I don't have to lift? Well, you're not as good as him, and you're not as talented as him. That's one of the reasons. And if you want to stay in the league, you might want to continue to work out. But anyway, he just changed the whole vibe of the team. That was, we followed Troy, Michael, and Emmett. They were all hard workers. They all followed Jimmy. And now Deion comes in, and now things start to fracture. And Troy and I've gone around about it. He thinks when Jay Novacek got injured was the start of the downfall for the Cowboys.
And I could see that from Troy's perspective because he was such a big target.
Yeah. And I've always said it was Deion and the unraveling of discipline and all that. We somehow, some way won the Super Bowl in 95 by the hair of our chin because we were ready to fold towards the end of the season. There are some games that didn't.
That was the Steelers game, right?
That was the Steelers Super Bowl.
Thank goodness Neil O'Donnell was on the other side.
They threw a couple passes. I forgot how wide open Larry was on those.
He was the receiver, man.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted you to reiterate that just because it is interesting. I just want to know, going back to that, for those of you that, if you've heard that story 100 times, we apologize, but I find it fascinating with what I'm about to say about Deion. But then also, that scouting report they came in with, was that just Jerry Jones trying to sell you veterans?
Oh, I think the more I think about it, yes. And
because I know Deion had teammate problems before that were known about. Like in San Francisco, there were issues coming out of so the fact that they were telling you hard worker and things like that, it was well known he didn't like to tackle and do things his own way. And I'm just going off of my old memory back then. So I'm fascinated on how the ownership was like, oh, here's his thing. This is what he does, guys.
Right.
But I'm bringing that up and everything just because Deion yesterday goes to Big 12 Media Day. And they ask him, and Ethan's playing this on the Xbox, the new college football. I think it's 27 this year. Maybe it's 26. No, college football 27 from EA Sport. Ethan's already started playing it. He's got it advanced. It's not out for the PlayStation yet, but it's out on the Xbox. He's been playing it. But Deion's not in the game. So they asked him about it yesterday. Dale, do you think this was a Deion response of, it's all about my team, I want my players on that, and I don't want the focus to be on me? Or do you think Deion made it about himself?
Well, if I'm a betting man, I think Deion's talking about himself.
Deion's exact quote was, if I'm not in the game, that means they weren't paying enough.
He's a coach.
Hey, that's my point.
Who gives a damn?
Who do you think you are?
And again, I was almost warming up to Deion a little bit as a coach because it seemed like he was kind of talking about holding players accountable and going to class.
He's big on that.
And all that
If they
stuff.
wear the wrong socks.
Yeah.
Wrong color socks on a certain day, he sends them home.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're superstars.
And so I was thinking
but they're stars.
He might be turning a corner, but he just can't help himself.
No. And it's just, that's fine if you feel that way because you don't make that much off of it. And I get it. You have a likeness and things to that effect. So I understand that aspect, but just to put that out there on Big 12 Media Day just rubbed me the wrong way of, wow, way to make it about yourself, coach.
Right.
You could have taken that $700,000, whatever it is, You could have put it toward your school's NIL, which I know is not a lot, but you could have done that and helped your school out. But instead, you're going, oh, they're not paying enough for me to be involved in that. It just rubbed me the wrong way. It did. It just rubbed me the wrong way. That was after Kenny Dillingham spoke. So all this positivity and all this moving forward and everything, and then Deion gets up there and no, they're not paying enough.
You talk about strange bedfellows. Evidently, Deion admires Dillingham.
They've been good friends. They tried coaching together at one point.
Right.
And stuff like that. Isn't that weird?
Oh.
Yeah. It's just, and the way Deion coaches, if you don't know, he's the figurehead. He just stands on the sideline or nowadays sits on the sideline because of his health. But he's got guys that run everything.
Right.
And, he shows up to practices late, from what I've heard over time. Doesn't show up at all some days and lets the coaches run everything. And during games, he just does his input and lets them do whatever, and he just takes the credit, which, to me, that's the way you should coach. I don't like these coaches that are offensive coordinators or
I
defensive
understand that, but still.
Be the figurehead, but you still have to be engaged in the sport.
To try and hold your players accountable, but yet you're not?
Well, that's the issue. How do you look at your kids and be like, well, they're not paying me enough. Well, that's good enough for you. The $700 you get is probably good enough for you. But for me, it's not good enough for me to be on there. It just drives me the wrong way. In today's day and age, it stands out even more than it did as a coach. You're supposed to be on. And like I said, keep this in mind. I'm watching this after Kenny Dillingham spoke yesterday. The contrast is so different. It's not even funny out there. But I don't know. I just wanted to comment about my buddy Deion. By the way, Deion has 2 Super Bowls back-to-back years, right? With the Niners that one year.
Yep.
They beat you, and then 96 there with Barry and you guys right after that. It's interesting.
So did Dillingham get you all fired up for the season?
No, because Dillingham, I appreciate it. I got to be careful how I phrase this. People are going to be like, how can you hate Kenny? I don't. I love Kenny Dillingham. Love him.
Okay.
He's a breath of fresh air in the college football world. To the point where I used to be a big Dabo Swinney fan. Kenny Dillingham's changed my mind on Dabo Swinney, where I'm like, Dabo Swinney's the old guy, get off my lawn guy if I don't like how college football's changing type stuff. To where I can't stand the guy anymore. So, Kenny Dillingham has changed my perspective on a lot of coaches in college football and how they handle things and stuff like that. Really quick, before we get into that, some comments here on the YouTube page. Don't forget, follow us, TME Media AZ. Like, subscribe to the page, and then, of course, join the online chat as well. Robert says, golf day? No, I'm dressed up for court. Jacket on and go. Oh, you're talking about Dale.
Dressed up, so you get dressed up for court. You don't wear like a Megadeth or AC/DC T-shirt to court? No. While the prosecution and the judge is trying to, screw me over, I got to look good. Okay.
Gotta look good while they're trying to screw you over, Dale.
Right.
I know. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Just a joke.
I'm not going to get you in any more trouble than you already are.
But no, Dale, of course. Wednesday, Dale. They moved the golf times back, so Dale's golfing on Wednesdays again.
Well, and this might be the last one for a little bit.
Yeah, good luck for a late one today.
112.
Well, Friday, go out early on Friday.
We are going out earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say, go out early on Friday.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're taking Fridays off here until like the end of this month when the Cardinals get into camp. So around July 22nd, we'll be coming back on Fridays. But this Friday, special treat for you, Lou fans. Lou's coming in on Friday this week. Going to come in for an hour remotely to talk, obviously, Conor McGregor this weekend. So we're going to come in for about an hour on Friday, 9 o'clock, as last I heard. I'll let you know by tomorrow if that time changes, for Uncle Lou's segment coming up on Friday. So just be aware. Coming to do that, we'll do it live, of course, like we do, and everything, and then put it on demand as well. So just a programming note for you guys out there as well. I invited Dale, but he was like, screw you. We're having Fridays off. I'm out of here.
I can't squeeze a word in edgewise when it's Steve and Lou.
You just got to learn how to get in that conversation.
Well, where is Lou? Is he traveling?
He's in,
I thought I saw he's in Omaha.
Okay, so is he posting? Okay, he's in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he had posted it or not. But yeah, he comes back tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's why he's got to come in on Friday. But yeah, he's visiting family there in Kansas City. His family's from that area and
Omaha.
all of that. No, he's in Kansas City.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, I think his mom's still in Kansas City. I think it's his mom that's there. Somebody's there that he goes and visits and everything. And all right, if he posted it, I'll announce it where he's at. Robert also says, don't have to wear pads in practice and don't have to tackle in games. Lucky he had Darren Woodson on the other side.
Yes, he did.
That's just my thing. I remember Shiloh Sanders, first time I saw him in person for Colorado. And he looked like Deion, moved like Deion. He didn't like to tackle like Deion. He made, like with ASU, he went in for like the softest tackle. And I went, up just like his dad. That was his notch there on that side. So I just wanted to get the comment. Join the chat as well, folks. Of course, YouTube as well. Like, subscribe there, and join us. And Dale, we'll get into the Big 12 Media Day here.
Yeah.
Kenny Dillingham was asked, generally this question was, Kenny Dillingham takes a lot of criticism for openly asking people for money, growing the program. He takes a lot of criticism for that.
Does he really?
But he's also getting the money. I agree, and I agree with that criticism. I just don't like your head coach out there, hat in hand, asking for money.
Yeah, but
I feel like it should be another.
Again, I think at certain schools that would come across as distasteful.
Who was the guy in Alabama?
Nick Saban?
Nick Saban asked his people for money. He just did it behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, that is one difference. Kenny is in front of the cameras.
That's what I don't like. Yeah,
but he's gotten results,
yes.
and so you can argue, well, if he doesn't ask, does he get?
Yeah, and asking public. Well, what Kenny also has to do is Alabama doesn't have a ton of money, but I'm just using Alabama as an example. They got enough people around the program that you can go to and ask, and they give it.
Right.
Kenny's trying to reach out to people not associated with ASU. Like, for instance, we have a big tech industry here.
Right.
I'm just going to throw Taiwan Semiconductor there, but you can do Intel or whatever. They don't know ASU from a hole in the wall. All their executives are from Taiwan and things to that. He's trying to get to those people, saying, hey, come support the program and things to that effect. Whereas Alabama, all the car dealerships in Alabama know Alabama football, and stuff to that effect. So that's why Kenny does it. But he does take some crap for that and everything. And like I said, it rubs me the wrong way a little bit. I understand why he does it, and I kind of just ignore it if I can. But he talked about that yesterday. This is Kenny Dillingham on More Kobe as well. So here's what he had to say about that during Big 12 Media Day.
You just ask a coach if he's content, right? Obviously, the answer is no, right? We'll never be content, right? You're always striving to be better. You're always striving to push better, push for more, push for more. And the day that I stop trying to push for more, right, is the day that I'm complacent and content. And that's not what you want, right? You should always want more. You should always push for more. And I think that's just the nature of the world we're in today, but it's the nature of how sports have been forever, is you always want more, you push for more. I'll say the athletic department, the president, they've definitely gotten way more involved in terms of what they want this program to be. From my 4 years here, there's been unbelievable growth in who we are as an athletic department, as a university, their support for football, and we're building a new indoor facility that's going to be state of the art, one of the best indoor facilities in the country, and we're continuing to try to get better and better and better. But I'll never be satisfied. I'll always want more. I'll always push to want more. And I think anybody who wants to be the very best is going to want the same.
Before you say anything, I just want to point out, and I watched all the coaches yesterday. I'll go back and watch all the coaches today and stuff to that effect. He's just a breath of fresh air. Nobody else talks like this.
He's got a nice speaking voice. He's obviously very energetic. Got a good hour nap on the way to Dallas.
They were at the World Cup game the day before.
Were they really?
The players that are there were in all to that World Cup game.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, and here's the thing. I mean, he brought up a couple things. I don't know what the exact question was, but
well, it was basically like you're out there asking for money, and why do you do that type of stuff?
Okay.
So that's what he meant by content. There was, are you going to ever stop doing that? Or that was kind of the intention of the deal, is what you're out front. wanting
Yeah,
more.
And again, I think I go back to when we first talked about it, was the fact that when you look at ASU and the strides they've made in the last couple of years, they still haven't really arrived.
Yeah.
They've made improvements. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with him just publicly making that ask. He's not.
Well, I mean, there's asking, but it just sometimes, like when he did that in front of the Tillman statue, it was like, dude, you look like you're begging.
Oh, so I didn't see that.
After he signed his contract extension, he's out there going, I know there's somebody in town that can sign a two-digit, check and all this stuff. And you're just like, dude.
Well, it's worked.
You got that coaching endowment or whatever, right? For several $1 million.
So anyway, I think the way he does it, it's fine. I've heard other coaches make it sound like it's not palatable.
It's not just coaches; it's media, it's fans, and stuff to that effect. I get why he does it; it's working for him and stuff. But the other thing about those comments that he made there, that I just love to death.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you the thing that jumped out to me was you never become content and complacent. Yeah. And I still, and that just brings me back to my Dallas days and the fact that, you win your first Super Bowl and it's euphoric and it's a dream from being a kid. And wow, you just finally reached that pinnacle and you enjoy it for 3 or 4 days. And it's like, oh, we got to
do it again.
We got to get ready for next year.
Does it make you want it more?
Yeah. It was, it's a mental game you got to play with yourself.
Because there's that Super Bowl hangover they talk about.
You got Super Bowl hangover. Yeah. Remember, 30 other teams, 28 other teams back then, they'd had a 6-week head start on you.
Yeah, that's the other side of it.
And getting ready for the off season, and their bodies are all healed up and they're working out again, and you're still dealing with your nonsense.
You're still out celebrating it all and everything. But that's what I was going to say is 4th year for Kenny Dillingham going into this year, and they've done something ASU programs don't do. They've won 19 games. A lot of coaches would get content going into this year. We saw a little bit of content last year, remember, where he had to take over the program again and say, hey, we left it to the students and penalties got involved. The players and the leadership. He's like, we had to go back in there and wrestle that back from them and take control of the program again.
Right.
So we learned that lesson last year. And it's refreshing in the 4th year seeing a coach basically be the same guy he was when he was hired, because it's easy to settle it. I don't know if you can keep it up for the long term. I question how long you can do this before content gets in or just burn yourself out. I do question that. But it's just refreshing in the 4th year that he's still the same message as he was 2 years ago, 4 years ago. I think it's fantastic. You just don't see this anywhere else. Most coaches, watch any other coach. Watch Brennan today, Arizona fans. Tell me you feel the same. That's all I'm going to say. Different. I'm not saying it's bad. It's different. Brendan's not gonna make you want to get up and run through a wall like Kenny Dillingham did yesterday. Right? And stuff to that effect. He does talk about another thing that coaches go through, right? They just get tired of all the nonsense around college. The constant changing. You're doing things one way, and all of a sudden, new rules come out. You have to switch it. The NIL changes. You have to switch how you do that and stuff like that. So in one of those media scrums that they have here, Kenny Dillingham was asked about changes and the constant changes around college football. Here's what Kenny had to say about those changes.
Yeah, you got to be willing to change. I mean, it's hard. The challenging part is the rules change. So you may have a strategy and a strategy that you believe is the best, and then something happens and that strategy is no longer the best, and you got to be able to adapt, and you got to be able to convince people of why you changed, because people don't like change. Most people don't want to change. What you've been doing is what you want to stay doing. So, however, in this age of college sports, it's like, okay, this is the best way. You come in a week later, hey, we're doing it this way. We just went through doing it this way. We had a 3-hour meeting, right? And you got to create complete buy-in through an entire institution on maybe a slight change or maybe a drastic change to your approach because something changed in the landscape. And you got to be willing to do that because the landscape is changing. I mean, every few months there could be a drastic different turn in this thing, and you got to be willing to turn with it. If you're not willing to turn with it, I think you're begging to underachieve.
Well, and what's fascinating to me is because of that, I think you're going to see the college coaching profession continue to get younger and younger and younger. These older guys
Don't want to deal with it.
who've been doing it a certain way for a long time. Because he's right. When you sit down with an entire football department, and believe me, there's a lot of people when you have a full staff and secretary and all that meeting.
Your compliance division.
And you sit down and you go over something and you spend 2 or 3 hours. This is the rules, and all of a sudden you get a memo. 2 weeks later, it's like
throw everything we talked about out.
we got to go to another meeting and all that. But I think that's why you continue to see the coaching get younger.
And what I want to see is how these young guys, how long they're able to do it.
Right.
A
If you could look at a crystal ball and see Kenny Dillingham in 10 years.
Well, and this is what's interesting to me. Well, I've often said that. I'd be shocked if he's still here.
Well, whether wherever he is, does he still talk like he's talking right now? Does he still have that energy that, my guess would be no.
I was just reading today, one reporter came out and was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny Dillingham did the NFL in 2 years to get out of this college system type of thing. That's a legit threat like you're talking about. And then I brought up Dabo Swinney earlier, right? You got some guys that got out of the profession, of course, and I just forgot his name again, the Alabama guy. Nick Saban. I don't know why I can't think of his name today. You have him that was just like, all right, I'm done. I'm out of here. This is ridiculous. Writing a 197-page manifesto on how to change college football in this environment now type of stuff. Then you got guys like Dabo Swinney, who's over there at Clemson and refuses. He got his first transfer last year, and there was some guy that played special teams for him. He finally gave into it. Refuses to deal with the system. And, I took some flack on Twitter last week when Dabo was like, I'm not putting money into a kid that doesn't want to be here. And he basically said, if we want him back, he's going to come back here, or else he's not going to be part of our team originally. And I took that as, well, Dabo wants to be the one to tell him that he's not. So that takes a chance on the coach. It doesn't work out. Coach fires him and tells him to move on. That's what Dabo wants. He doesn't want the kid to make that decision. Then some people jumped on me. I'm talking about Lou. Lou jumped on me for that. Then you got guys like Dabo who are holding on to the end, and his record and everything has suffered because of holding on to that old style. But even go back a little bit. Before Kenny Dillingham was hired, what was the number one complaint about Ray Anderson and Dr. Crow? They refused to change.
Right.
We're not doing NIL the way everybody else is, what they always said. All of a sudden, Graham Rossini comes in and it changes. All of a sudden, Kenny Dillingham gets here, it changes even more, and they fully embrace it. Change is important. And to hear a head coach talk that way, where you could hear the frustration, I guess you could say, in that answer, but at the same time, he still embraces those changes. Okay, now we got to change it this way, guys.
Right.
How are we going to fix it now? And I think you need that quality to be a successful college football coach in today's day and age. And Kenny's got it. There's no doubt about it going forward. He also talked, well, I tell you what, we got a momentum conversation because the issue's got momentum right now. Let's take our break, come back, keep it going with Kenny Dillingham and College Day. I got one more clip for you. Robert said, isn't Dillingham asking for money part of the job now, like recruiting? Oh, absolutely. He does it differently than everybody else does, was my point earlier. He openly goes to the microphone. Yeah. Everybody else kind of does it behind the scenes and things like that, which is another way he does it different. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that aspect kind of feels kind of slimy, in my opinion. But it's working for him. Go with it. Come on back. Main event. And we're back here. Main event with Dale Hellestrae. He's going to go play golf. He's going to take off about 9:20. Don't worry. We got you covered, of course. Tomorrow, no Lou tomorrow as well. We get Dale all show tomorrow. Just giving you a heads up. Tomorrow we are going to end the show about 15 minutes early, 9:45-ish. I do have an appointment with Ethan that we have to get over in Mesa. So that will happen tomorrow, but we'll be here from 8 o'clock to about 9:45 tomorrow. And then Friday, a special edition of the main event coming your way with me and Uncle Lou. Will be remote. We'll talk the Conor McGregor UFC fight. Get you all set up for that for this weekend on Friday as well, which will be nice because it'll be after weigh-ins. So we'll have the most updated Uncle Lou thoughts and everything going into this weekend's fights that come out on Friday.
I'm trying to figure out how he feels about this fight, just from his little Twitter ramblings. I don't think
he doesn't. He's not a fan of it.
No, I don't think he's a big fan.
I'm guessing he's not a big fan of it. Well, like I said, it's just one: is Conor going to show up? Is there going to be some thing that causes him to back out last minute or something?
Okay.
I don't think so. But the guy hasn't fought in 5 years, coming off an injury. He got injured last time he was there, a serious foot injury as well. It's just this to me. He's almost to the point now. Like I said, he lives on an expensive $1 million yacht, lives this expensive lifestyle. To me, it's just like what was that, Mike Tyson and that YouTube kid or whatever fighting, Mayweather and that YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's just like this is almost like a gimmick main event card going into this weekend. But that's my opinion. We'll see what Lou feels about it coming up on Friday as well. But we're talking Big 12 Media Day here. Got one more for you on Kenny Dillingham. Of course, ASU, as bad as last year went and as disappointing as it was for all the fans out there in the program, they've still won 19 games over 2 years. I mean, this is unheard of at ASU.
Right.
Other programs do this, and they're just like, they actually think it's a negative, right? Oh, my God, we got to fire this coach. He only won 19 games over 2 years. At ASU, we should be celebrating this, and there's severe momentum around this program going forward for a lot of reasons. You got to keep in mind, too, I just want to keep pointing this out. His coaching staff is such an elite coaching staff. Players are coming here and turning down other offers, for instance, the wide receivers, to come be coached by Hines Ward.
Right.
They can go elsewhere and have success, and they're choosing ASU because they want to be coached by Hines Ward to get to that next level.
Well, again, and we've talked about it for a long, long time on this show, the fact that, yes, Hines Ward is stepping up in the eyes of high school wide receivers. But it used to be there's one choice. If you were an elite wide receiver, you wanted to go to the NFL, you went to Ohio State.
Yes.
Because why? Well, because this guy went, and that guy went, and that guy went, and they're first-round picks. So once you all of a sudden, you get the kid who gets drafted first round last year, and you start to build that resume. Now kids go, well, there's something special going on there, and that's a really cool part, a place to be if you're a part of that.
And then you got the kid over at not Perry,
Basha,
Hillenbrand. Yeah, you got him. Top level lineman talent being recruited by SEC schools, staying home now and staying here on that side. So that's the momentum we're talking about when we talk about momentum around Arizona State. And Kenny Dillingham talked yesterday, again, one of these little side scrums that he did. The first one was on the podium. These ones are on the side. Kenny Dillingham talks about that momentum and everything and how you keep it going and all that stuff. Is what he had to say.
They want to watch fun. They want to watch exciting. They want to watch people who care. They want to watch discipline, right? They don't want to watch a game and you have 19 false starts, right? They want to watch a game where the guys are giving everything they have, right? They can see the passion. They can see the discipline. They can see what's been put in outside. And I think that's something we've been able to do the last 2 years is produce a fun team to watch. There was a run there where we had uncharacteristically had a few more penalties than we've had during my tenure here, which I think we got fixed towards the end of the year. And there was a little run there where we weren't quite as physical, as we were. And I think we got that fixed towards the middle of the end of the year. But I think that's what people want to see. They just want to see people care. They want to see people, take their university that they watch and they can respect how we play.
I can't disagree. I can't agree more with Kenny Dillingham.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, think about this. It goes not just college, it's everything. You can suck, but if you put an effort out there, your fans will rally around you.
If you're playing hard. And I think even more interesting to me, more impactful to me is the fact that he admitted it.
Yes, that's the other side.
And he said, middle of the season, we changed.
He admitted it last year during the season.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He brought it back.
Very, very few coaches are going to come out publicly and acknowledge.
Name another one.
You
I
know?
couldn't. I was racking my brain yesterday going, who else talks like this?
Right.
And, I mean, it just gets you this momentum that they're going in the right direction. Doesn't mean they're going to go win a national championship and be a blue blood for the next 10 years and dominate the college football world and stuff like that. But just a coach that gets it. It's not, you know, like, think about this difference here right now, right? The Cardinals. They have positive things to think about, but why are we down on them? Because there's like no hope there, right? They've dashed everybody's hopes and everything. If they would have come out last year and lost every game like they did in the first part where they lost by off thing, you can come out of that kind of being proud, like, all right, now we know we just got to tweak these little things. But the way they were getting blown out just takes your heart out, right? And the way they look like Marvin Harrison Jr. looking like he doesn't give a crap out there and dropping passes. You just get deflated. But if guys are out there working hard, fumbling around, yeah, they might lose games, but they're working, they're showing they're practicing hard, they're doing the right things in games, and they're just not good enough. You can wrap your hands around that and root for that team and be successful with them. And a coach gets it. That's fantastic to see out there. I love that attitude, and it's almost like he's got the fan attitude. And I know people like Bruce Cooper will be like, Steve, you're wrong. You got to win. I'm not saying you lose all the time. I'm just saying if you go through a game and a team plays really well, like, I know you're upset that they lost to Texas in that playoff game, but did anybody get down on the team because they lost to Texas? Because they played their hearts out.
Yeah, if I vaguely remember the game, it was 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
But the never give up, they were down early, looked like it could be a blowout. And yet the resolve that they had to come back and make
cover zero by the defensive coordinator. Just pointing it out again. But no, I heard that from Kenny yesterday as I was going through all the local people they're covering on these scrums and going through their stuff. Fox 10, Devil's Digest did a great job there as well. On 3 did a great job. Sun Devil Source. Brad Sesmat's company, Sports 360, did a fantastic job in their coverage with their outside the podium stuff that they did yesterday. And it's just listening to Kenny talk like that, and I'm just like, thank you, Coach, for saying it. Nobody wants to go to a game and watch your team be sloppy, look like they don't know what they're doing, tons of penalties. That's just not what we want to go see. So go lose the game if you need to, if it happens. But by golly, put your best effort out there and do the best you can. Well, people will be mad you lost, but they'll appreciate it. It's great. It's great. What are we down on the Diamondbacks for? Because it looks like lack of effort. It looks like, they're not making the right decisions. And they don't care that they're a 500 team and they're struggling at times. That's why we're all down on them right now, Dale. If they were going down the opposite was happening and they were like, Zach Gallen, you got to miss the start. We're trying this. We're trying that. We'd all be more enthusiastic about these guys trying out there. But when it looks like you're not trying, your fan base picks up on that. And that goes a long way for support.
Although I will say in baseball, to me, it's a lot harder to see if a team's all in and playing with enthusiasm and all that. In football, you can see just because of turnovers and penalties. And all that, and you can see the
baseball's longer term to notice.
Yeah, but with like the soccer, I don't understand a whole lot about soccer, but I could tell that the United States the other night were not as energetic, and whatever for whatever reason. I didn't know the reason.
Yeah,
but you can see it with the naked eye. In baseball, it's like, I guess if somebody doesn't run out a grounder to first base,
it's more long term. You can see those small things, but baseball is more longer term over a time frame where you can see it. But I mean, is there anybody in town that think the Diamondbacks are performing at the best level that they could be performing at?
I don't think so.
Yeah, to me at least, it seems like everybody knows they're underperforming. And that's where you get frustrated with these guys. If they were the opposite and they were 500, but they're doing the best they can and they're overperforming and giving the perception they're overperforming, we'd all have a different attitude about it. So Kenny just gets it, man. There's something about this guy that's just amazing, and I just hope he can keep it up. I mean, another baby at home now and going through all this, and it's just like, man, he's got to figure out that life outside of life balance with the way college is changing, and it'd be nice to see if he can keep it up. And young, of course, too. But even young people burn out over time.
Yes.
Tiger Woods did it, right? Well, he got it.
He got burned, but in a different way.
Got burned upside the head. With the thing. But, so there you go. Big 12 Media Day yesterday. Like I said, a lot of lawsuit talk, a lot of legislation talk, some new deals up there. I do like the replay deal where I didn't watch very much ACC football last year. It's just not a very good conference in my eyes, so I didn't watch a lot of it. But I don't remember ever seeing them pipe in where you get to hear the refs talk to each other when they're doing the replays. That's an interesting concept to me because it's just going to shine a light on the process. Doesn't mean we're going to agree with the process, and we're not going to agree with the result on the penalty. But at least you're going to hear the thought process and conversation, which you can respect that more. And it'll take a lot of the tin hat, this ref's against us type of stuff away if you hear the actual conversations and the theory behind why a call is made on the field. I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah.
The Monster Energy logo yesterday when I'm watching it did kind of annoy me already. I just want to say.
Again, I said it yesterday. I think the first time I heard one league was going to put the logos on their jerseys, I'm like, that is so stupid, ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. Haven't we all just become accustomed to them now?
But like you brought up the NBA yesterday. Like the Suns just have a band that says PayPal. You barely notice it. They're going to have the Monster Energy logo on everything.
You don't know where it's going to be yet.
I'm assuming it's going to be. Maybe it's on the shoulder pads. You won't notice, but it's going to be on the field. It's going to be on the basketball. It was on the sign. I don't know, Kobe, do you still have the KD on More video available? If you do, just throw it up. You don't have to play it. Just throw it up for me, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. Like, I don't know why this bothers me. Let me know if you have it or not, Kobe, or just throw it up if you have it still. Go ahead and throw it up there. Oh, okay. All right.
That bothers you?
Yeah, right there in the middle. Football Media Days 26.
Yeah.
Monster Energy with that logo. If it just said Monster on it, or Monster Energy, I'd probably be all right with it. It's just that stupid claw marks just stood out yesterday. Huh. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
Well, that might be one of the smartest things you've said in a long time. Maybe
just gotta get used to it. Now it's going to be on the courts and everything, Dale. That's the other side of it. It's going to be on the
Are you watching the court or are you watching the players?
I think we found out in the Big 12 basketball tournament last year that if a court's distracting, you notice it.
Well, that was a bit much.
I think we noticed that last year. That's all I'm going to say on that. We noticed it. They should have it be like the 30-yard line and just have the 3 scratch marks as where the 3 goes. And then the 0 after.
You're just gonna obsess over that.
I am.
Next year.
Yeah. As long as they're not crooked numbers like Westwood, we're okay. We'll be okay. Wow. Arizona talks today. I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say. The other team, Cincinnati's today, and like I said, the NCAA this morning sends a letter of inquiry to University of Cincinnati based around a Brendan Sorsby and his deal. So, Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yarmark met with Texas Tech executives at a Fort Worth steakhouse to address tensions stemming from Sorsby's transfer to Texas Tech, the lawsuits and the gambling, etc. Make no mistake about it, behind the scenes, no confirmation of this, but I'm telling you guys, there's only one reason Texas Tech is pissed off about it. Because Cincinnati did them dirty, and they know who did them dirty.
Right.
There's no other explanation on why they're losing their minds about this. And it's starting to squeak out a little bit with questions about why Cincinnati hasn't been affected and things like that. And Texas Tech has a lot of money. Texas Tech can leave this conference. That was kind of the gist of the question. If they're not going to. But, it's possible there as well. But when the commissioner meets with your school executives at a steakhouse at Big 12 Media Days to talk about it, there's an issue here. And then you find out this morning the NCAA sends the letter of inquiry to Cincinnati over Sorsby's time in the program. A couple years there as well.
Right. Well, to me,
Fascinating.
and I've always said this, you talk about Cincinnati being involved with the Texas Tech and Sorsby and all that mess. I would have loved to seen if Sorsby went to University of Miami or went to North Carolina or Washington or somewhere not in the Big 12.
Yeah, went to a rival in the Big 12.
Yeah.
To the school everybody hates in the Big 12 because they're big-pocketed money.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, no. Make no mistake about it. It's only because he went to Texas Tech.
And isn't that funny?
That's how I feel.
You said it just very nonchalant because of the big money. You know, if you're just a doormat in any league, nobody dislikes you.
I said that about Sorsby. Sorsby could have gone to Utah, Arizona State, Arizona, UCF in the Big 12. Maybe would have been a blip, but otherwise nothing. He wouldn't have had to go to rehab. Nothing would have happened.
Right.
It's because he went to the school, and it's because Texas Tech, I'm going to say looks like, even though they are, Texas Tech is trying to buy their way into being a blue blood, and that generally people don't like that.
Right.
In the history of sports, you don't like the people that come in and try to bully you with money, and that's why. That's the only reason it's happened, and that's why Cincinnati. I have no doubt about it. And like I said, I'm going to alleviate Cincinnati here and say somebody in Cincinnati's orbit. It might not be anybody with the school. It's just somebody that supports the University of Cincinnati had a connection that they let it get to of what Sorsby's dealings are.
Right.
So, letter of inquiry, we'll have to see how this goes as well. But I'm sorry, man. The Big 12 commissioner meeting with Texas Tech to kind of simmer down their fear. They're pissed. I make no mistake. Texas Tech is pissed at what they just went through. They feel it was unfounded. They feel it was unwarranted. It's kind of why they dug their heels in at first. I feel like they kind of went against it with like, we'll sue everybody. Was because they reacted that way because they were like, why are you doing this to us? Because I guarantee you they have info on what he was doing at Cincinnati. Like Cincinnati had info he was doing there and in Indiana beforehand.
Right.
You do background checks on these people. It's just going to be interesting to see how
Yeah,
this
it would be
continues to play out.
really, really hard to believe the fact that Cincinnati didn't know
It's
anything.
impossible. If they didn't know, then it is the most dereliction of duty of anybody signing somebody to play for their program for money. That would be like an NFL team going, we didn't know he did drugs. Did you not do your investigation? Dereliction of duty from that side as well. By the way, Cody Campbell, Texas Tech there, on the Fort Worth meeting at the steakhouse, quote, we want to find a way to get all other Big 12 schools to elevate themselves. Everybody needs to do some version of what we've done. That's the path forward for this conference. A rising tide lifts all boats.
That's pretty sweet.
Well, it's a nice way of putting, hey, cheapskates and losers below us, pick up your game.
I wonder who bought dinner.
Do you think Yarmark
I wonder
pulled
who
out his
bought
black
dinner.
card?
Now they got all that monster money.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Who paid for that?
Yeah.
If you're Texas Tech, are you like doubling up and stuff to that effect?
No, I bought the $400 bottle of wine.
The 400, that's the cheap end there.
Huh.
I mean, Texas Tech views what they have done as just, their buying of the conference is just the necessity right now, buying of their team as the necessity of college football. And they feel like I'll just tell you, I get the impression they feel like they're being punished because they are trying to buy better players to get better here as well, and nobody else in the conference is doing it to that level. And they feel singled out. I'm not going to argue with you, rightfully so. They need to knock it off because stop being a-holes about it. Do it, but stop rubbing it in everybody's faces. That's your problem, is you're all pompous jerks about it. Hey, when we come back, we got World Cup talk, of course, Major League Baseball. Is Dale halfway off the bandwagon of the Diamondbacks right now? But I got a serious question I've got to ask. I was thinking about this last night during the Diamondbacks game.
Can we pitch Zach Gallen every night?
Dale ain't gonna like this question. He's gonna call me Dale. Come on back, folks. The main event. Second hour coming up next.